Hey there, everybody. So this is the first official live of the year that I'm doing, and I just want to say welcome to anybody that hops on at any point or is watching the replay. I hope you all have been staying safe with all the snow that's come through. I don't know about you all, but we were stuck at home the entire week last week. I actually got an entire week off from treatment last week, which was a blessing in disguise, as it gave me a much needed opportunity to get caught up on Bible studies, diamond art, just reading, just going through things, just all sorts of stuff that I generally don't really get much of a chance to do between the hyperbaric chamber treatments and just medical stuff that has to be taken care of at home, and just whatever else. And so that was a much needed blessing. And I am curious to know, a question that I want to throw out to you all is, what did you do in preparation for the snow that came? Did you get out and enjoy the snow? Did you stay inside? How bad was it where you were? And this snow challenge that's going on, my goodness, if you all have done it or have been challenged, just let me know. Kudos to you all for doing it. But anyway, so today, I have a couple devotionals for you all, and I plan to keep it, short and sweet for you all if I can. And before I do, I just want to say too, today was my first day back from treatment after all the snow. And I am just beyond grateful that we were actually able to get out of the house, and, we were able to get to the treatment and back home safely. As I was, a little worried about whether or not we would even be able to, just with all the piles of snow on the side of the streets, and not knowing, how slick the roads were. But anyway, just home and chilling and spending time on my bed now. But anyway, the devotion that I have for you all today is the first one is from this little book called 365 Days Days of Prayer for Depression and Anxiety. This one I got for Christmas, and so I've kind of been doing it a little bit, in the new year. And the one for today is called Filled. And the verse for this one is from John 1:16, and it says, "From his fullness we have all received grace upon grace." And the devotion itself says, "Father, in the whirlwind of life, it is so easy to feel depleted. There is always more to do, further needs to be met, and seemingly endless demands on my attention and time. I was never intended to live in a constant state of lack. You have everything I could ever need. You are full of grace for every moment of my life. My brokenness is not too much for you, and my weakness does not disturb you. In your heart of love, there is everything I need for healing. You have already made accessible to me every tool I need to succeed. For you are the source of all life. I want to come to you and be filled. God of abundance, in you is all I am longing for and everything I need. Fill me with your grace that empowers me to live connected to you. I need you more than I know how to express. Meet me with your unfailing love today." And this devotion just stood out to me, just in the sense that, we are all broken people in a broken world. And so we all need that reliance on God. And unfortunately, so many of us struggle with even being able to recognize just how much we need God, and, being able to recognize what our struggles are. And who better to understand our brokenness and grief in times of trouble than God himself? Of course, we have other people who can relate on some level It's just God himself knows us better than anybody. And so I just want to encourage all of you to turn to him in your times of brokenness and despair. And, you know, if you need somebody to talk to, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. We all have a lot on our plate, but I would love to be able to talk to you and be support to you in every way that I can, when I can, and I promise I will always do my best to make time for you. Hey, Mary Duke, how are you? How are you doing with the snow? And, you know, like this devotional says here, it even, like, going back to where it says, my brokenness is not too much for you, and my weakness does not disturb you. Like, you know, God even came to, like, even sent Jesus on this earth to be able to, so he can be able to actually say he knows our pain and he knows our struggles and can be able to bear the weight of our brokenness. And so, like, all he wants for us to be able to turn to him and know that he understands. Like, it's hard, it can be hard to hear his voice at times. And, you know, like when we do hear a voice, you know, telling us to do something, it can be hard at times to use that discernment to know, like, okay, like, you know, is this God telling me to do this, or is it, you know, Satan trying to get in my head? Like I've had those moments myself where I've had a hard time, like, being able to use that discernment. And sometimes, like, because I didn't give it time to be able to process the information, like, I have found myself, you know, going down a path that was, like, totally, like, whoa, like, hold up, like, what am I doing? And, like, it took me a while to get back on track and be like, okay, God, you know, I realized I took a wrong turn here. Help me get back on track. And even in our midst of trouble and brokenness, it's like, that doesn't mean we are terrible people. It doesn't mean that we can't be repaired. It doesn't mean that we're worthless. Like, we are worthy in every way possible to God. And he loves us no matter, like, with our flaws. He loves just everything about us. Like, you know, we were even created in his image. So just remember, like, you know, when you get down on yourself, ultimately you're getting down on God too, because he created you, like, just to be exactly who you are. And so it's just like, you know, when we sit here and tell ourselves that we're not pretty enough, not good enough, that's like telling God that he made a mistake. And he didn't. Like, you are uniquely yourself, and there is only one of you, so we need you. Hey, Karen, how are you? I hope you are doing well, especially with all the snow. Today, for those of you just coming on, like, today was my first day back to treatment after getting a week break. It was much needed, and I dreaded getting out, but it was time. And, you know, speaking of your worthiness and, you know, who God says you are, the other, like, little devotion I have for you all is from this book called You're Already Amazing, Embracing Who You Are, Becoming All God Created You to Be. And I will be posting this video to YouTube after I'm done here. And I will be sure to include a Amazon link, or, you know, something for both of these devotional books for you all to check out if you'd like. So the other devotion I have for you all is from this little booklet. And it says, you're not only amazing, you're enough, you're beautiful, you're wanted, you're chosen, you're called. You've got what it takes, not just to survive, but to change the world. And that particular piece of, like, just that small piece of information was just mind-blowing to me, and it really caught my attention when I read it heading out the door this morning, just because so often we do forget just how loved and beautiful and worthy we are. And, you know, if we didn't have a purpose and a reason for still being here, then then God would have taken us out of this world already. And, like, you know, if we didn't have a purpose to serve at all, then why would he create us if we didn't have a reason to be here? Like, we are chosen and created for a reason, and we have the power to use our stories and our struggles to make an impact on this world and be able to change the lives of others, and use our stories to draw people in to have a relationship with God. And it even made me think, if it's like as a lot of y'all know, I've been battling this ulcer for quite some time. It'll be 6 years in April since it happened. And, like, of all days, I've got my healer. I know it's backwards for you all. But I've got my healer Casting Crowns hoodie on. And it just made me think, yes, it is a struggle, and it takes a emotional and just psychological toll on me, just knowing that it has gone on for so long. But the Almighty Healer is going to use this for a reason, and he's going to use this as a way to glorify his name somehow in his timing. And, as much as I would love to just, wave a magic wand and it be done, and it's just like, this journey is not meant to be over just yet. But I am trusting that 2025 will be the year for it to finally manifest itself and heal. Hey Amy, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. And it's like, I know that ultimately this is going to be the year for healing to come. And it might be a gradual process, but I'm trusting that it will occur in God's timing, that he will use this to be able to make a wonderful impact in the world. And just going back to just our brokenness and our struggles, like the Bible even says in Matthew 11:28 through 30, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And those verses are just a great reminder that, that God is always going to be there. And he just wants us to humble ourselves to him and just let him know, like, hey God, here's what's on my mind. Help me. Like, that's all he wants, is for us to come to him and just trust that in his timing, everything will be okay. And just knowing that, he will use us in some way. And yes, it is hard right now. And it's so important to not only be able to rely on God, but also having that support system that will be there for you and to help guide you through the process. Like right now, I'm even in the midst of working with a couple women that I know and trust to be mentors for me, to help me grow in my faith moving forward, especially just with these trying times with my health. It's just like over these last few years, especially, I have found myself, just trying to keep my mind so preoccupied by this and that and everything, that I just so I don't have to face the reality of what I'm going through. And just because, all my life it's just been one thing after another, from, being born with cancer, growing up in a wheelchair as a result, just knowing that it came back when I was 9, and then, going to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania a few times to have titanium rods and screws put in my back, and now this ulcer and just everything else, just like, I've never lost touch of, with my relationship with God, but I wasn't prioritizing that time with him like I used to do, just because I just thought, it just got so overwhelming that I was like, okay, like, what's the deal? Why is God, allowing all this to happen to me? It's like I can't catch a break. And it's just that brokenness and sense of overwhelming ness just came over me, and I just got to a point where I just felt like I couldn't handle it. And so instead of remaining faithful and reading my Bible and doing my devotions like I have been, I found myself getting preoccupied by TV and games on my phone and music and just whatever else. And I just didn't realize just how much I was that those things were contributing to my overall well-being more than it was messing with me more than I realized. And it wasn't messing with me in a good way. And so through this new year, I have really been honing in on my overall self-care and just trying to make little changes to improve my mental health and spiritual growth. And I have started, prioritizing time each day to doing my devotionals, with books and in my Bible itself on the app. And I have just noticed so much growth just in this last, month or two of trying to prioritize that more. And I have noticed an overall change in my just mental health as well. And it's just my overall attitude towards things in life. Because I don't know about you all, but I am one of those that tends to overthink literally everything. And it's as soon as I think I have the answers that I want for a situation, I start coming up with different scenarios of, well, what if this? What if that? And it's just my mind just a lot of times just never stops until I am satisfied with wherever my mind lands with it. And that is not good. That's scary sometimes. It can be helpful when, working on a project or whatever, for work, school, anything, to be able to make sure you have yourself covered. It's just for that to be an everyday life struggle, it can be a scary place to end up, for sure. Take it from someone who spends a lot of time, just kind of, at home or at medical treatments. It's not a fun place to be. And so I just want to encourage each and every one of you today and every day to just know that you're not alone. And while it may seem like you are having a hard time right now, it will be okay. And, we are all broken, in some way or another. We're all struggling, and so you are never alone. And, while I may not be able to completely understand your struggles, and you may not be able to completely understand mine, we have to stick together and be able to be a community and help each other out. And I just want to encourage each and every one of you to take even just 5-10 minutes out of your day every day, preferably in the mornings, to just pause, even before you get out of the bed, just take just a little bit of time to just pause and, cry out to God with, whatever you have going on that day, whatever's on your mind, whatever, and just ask Him to watch over and protect you as the day goes by. If you have plans to travel someday, just pray that God will, allow you to get to wherever you're going safely. And ultimately, overall, just know that God is always there for you no matter what. And, you know, I want to encourage all of you to even get, like, if you can, find a few people that you just truly, truly trust. And, if you, like, especially people that, you know, are rooted in having a relationship with God. Because if not, then it can be very, very difficult to maintain your own just like relationship with God. And, you know, like, take it from me, like, you know, even your mental health can go astray in so many ways if you are not making God a priority in your life. And, you know, just be mindful of the people that you do keep around. Because while God can use us to be a mentor to them, Satan can also flip it around to try to pull us away from God. And I have been in that situation before where, like, you know, I truly felt like, you know, God wanted me to be around for certain, to be able to try to help and mentor people. And then, like, before I knew it, I was just kind of going along with so much, just kind of trying to show that, you know, God's love never gives up type deal, that I was like, that I found myself excusing everything. And don't get me wrong, like, you know, it is vitally important to be able to forgive people for things and be able to move past it. But I also want to encourage you all just to be mindful of everything as well, because you don't want to get pulled away from God in the process of trying to be a mentor to people. And even if it's just something like what I'm doing right now, just a video, you know, reading a devotional and sharing your thoughts about it, like, you can still reach people in this way as well, and be able to touch someone right now, like, in some way or another. And, you know, like, I always put these on YouTube too, and so you all can always go, like, if you all ever have anybody that is not on Facebook that you feel like could benefit from this, you can always go to, you can always find me on YouTube, to be able to share these videos, and just know that it's always that, just knowing that it's going to touch people in some way. And, you know, and the Bible even says, you know, faith of a mustard seed. Like, just knowing that no matter what, like, if we can have faith that small, and it's just like, if we can have faith that, you know, like, a flower is going to grow back, or, you know, whatever, or if we can have faith that someone's going to do what they say, then why not be able to trust God that He will always be there to look over it and protect us each and every day. And again, going back to this devotional, you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are chosen, and you do have a purpose in this world. And just know, again, you are not ever alone. And if you need help in any way, please call me out, or message me, or just on Messenger, whatever you need, and I will always be here to the best of my ability to support you all and encourage you in every way that I can. And that is all that I have for tonight, and I hope to be back soon, and I hope to be able to start doing these more often. And if you all, and I will stay on here for a couple minutes to give you all a chance, like, you all can always go back to the replay, but I just want to see if anybody has any thoughts on that, or anything that you're struggling with, or if you have a prayer request, or if you all even have any suggestions on what you would like me to do in the future for topics. Just please let me know, because, like, right now I've just kind of been relying on these handy things because they have some powerful words in them. But I also want to hear from you all too, for, like, if there's anything at all you would like me to touch on, like, please let me know, and I will include that in my Bible studies each day to be able to make notes and, you know, be able to touch on more things than just the devotionals. So if you all have any ideas or suggestions, please let me know. If you have any prayer requests or just general thoughts, you can let me know in the comments as well. Melissa, you are beautiful and wonderfully made as well. Like, you are a wonderful person, and I look forward to, seeing you on the online Southland chat each week. That, like, being able to engage with all of you on the chat each week is just kind of the highlight of my week. And I appreciate the prayers, Melissa. And speaking of, like, for healing too, we are going to be trying something new for the wound that apparently can be left in there for, to my understanding, for up to a week at a time. So we'll see how that goes. And I will try to give you all some kind of update on that with exactly what it is and how it works. I will try to get that to you all soon. And that particular update for that stuff, I'll probably upload directly to YouTube. And then I'll just share the link here for you all instead of coming on live for that. So in the meantime, I hope you all are doing well. And if you ever need anything at all, please feel free to reach out. And I will do what I can to support you and help you. And just don't ever lose hope. Just know that, like, just know that it's going to be okay. Until next time, see you guys.